Hello, welcome to the room. Hi, my name is Christina Carpenter. Welcome. So glad you're with me today. My name is Christina, and I am here to help you work on self publishing your book. If that's your dream, your desire, whatever you want to accomplish in life, that's what we're here for. That's why I'm here. So I hope you did your yoga today. You went for a walk. You did whatever you had to do in the morning because we're about to get into it. This is afternoon session, a little bit of time to talk about self publishing because everything is about getting those books out into the world. We're going to be diving into important topics on writing for aspiring authors. We're going to be thinking about 7 key questions that you have to ask before you decide to self publish. Self publishing gives you control and potential, but it's not a shortcut. If you rush into it without thinking it through, it might end up being frustrating, overwhelming, or even hurting your author career. So let's talk about the questions you should ask and get started on together. It's like a checklist so that you can think about it before you start. Question number 1. I'm going to say the question, explain why it matters, and give you some reflection prompts, okay? So the first question is, what is your definition of success? This is a key question because it's not the same for everyone. Everyone has personal goals, personal dreams, personal desires. So, what is your personal definition of success? For one person, it could be a full-time income. For another person, it could be being famous on TV. It could be being on Oprah. For someone else, it could be just educating their family, maybe telling their story, maybe just having a outlet for self-expression. So what is that specifically for you? You have to write it down so that you know for yourself what it is before you publish. Because when you get out there, you want to be prepared for what level of success you're trying to reach, okay? If you want to sell 1 million copies, I would suggest you partner with people who can help you sell 1 million copies. If you just want a book for your family, I suggest you partner with someone who would help you to write a book just for your family. If you just want to print a book at Staples, or if you want to print a book online, or you want to sell a book in your Etsy store, whatever it is, what is your idea of success? And start planning how you're going to make that happen. If you want to reach 1,000 people or you want to reach 500 people, that's two different goals, two different plans of action. So those are two different roadmaps. So you have to think about it, get started now. Number 2, what's question number 2? What are your long-term goals? Long-term is like what I've been talking about. Who do you want to reach? How far do you want to go? Some people have big, big dreams, and some people have very small dreams. Like it's like they're not that serious to get on TV, but they want to be, in their local community. They want to reach the local area. That could be a goal of yours. So, what are your long term goals, and will self publishing help or hurt you? If your dream is to be traditionally published, this will get you a lot of fame because traditional publishers, they have connections. If you're starting on your own, you're going to be you having to build up your own social media. So that's a longer trajectory. But there's also a longer trajectory with traditional publishing because you have to send out query letters, get a literary agent, you have to get a lot of rejection letters. So there's a lot of different potholes on the path to the dream that you have. So you have to think long term about that and how complicated your path is. Some publishers will look at your past record. They'll look at what you've done before. What have you written? Have you written on social media? Do you have a blog? Do you have a subreddit? I mean, not a subreddit. Do you write on what's it? Substack? Do you write on Substack? Do you write on Medium? Like, do you have other outlets that you've written on before where people have read your work before, so that they can see what you've done, how you impact people with your writing? Like that impacts your traditional publishing route. But if you're a self-publisher, you still need an audience in other places like Substack, like Medium, and these different places. And that helps to sell your book and the success of your book, because then you can promote your book through those outlets. So think about this reflection. If I self-publish, will it hurt my chances to be traditionally published? If you want to be traditionally published, will your self-published book promote the traditional published book? Can you transition from a self-published book to a traditionally published book? Some people do that. Some people become famous from a self-published book, so it can happen. If you wait for a traditional publisher, are you okay with a slower timeline? Are you okay with waiting before you get developed or waiting before you get discovered by a traditional publisher that will publish your work? And everyone's timeline is different. Some people get it quick and some people get it slower. So it all depends on what you're writing, what people are looking for, what's the trend of the moment, and what's hot on the market, because traditional publishers, they look for what's hot on the market. Can you use self-publishing as proof of concept? Are you going to use your self-published book as proof of concept for something that you want to do down the line in terms of traditional publishing? Number 3, let's talk about the third question. Are your books suitable for self-publishing? And why does this matter? Because if you're writing in a certain genre, does that book perform well in indie markets? Most books perform well, and some books perform better if it's traditionally published. But like, I did poetry for my book, and anyone can self-publish poetry. That's something that's pretty easy on the market for self-publishing. You could do that and people will want to buy that. If it's like a novel, you might want to be with a traditional publisher because the name behind you could really back you up to make your book more credible if you're doing a novel. So having people who are like Simon and Schuster or some famous name behind your novel makes your novel seem like amazing. So here's a reflection question. Look up recent sales data and market reports in your genre and see if your genre would excel better in the traditional publishing or, and what are the trends of ebooks, print books, and audiobooks. You might even want to change the style of your book, whether your book would be better as an ebook or it would be better as an audiobook. If you're doing a memoir, you might want to do an audiobook because it sounds better coming from your voice. If you're doing a how-to guide, you might want to just do an ebook because people could pick it up right away. They don't have to get it shipped to them. They could start reading it and getting help right away. Then you can ask your book, does your book fit the expectations and discoverability of indie publishing? Like, is your book easy to find and does it meet expectations? So those are things to think about. So let's move on to question 4. Is your craft ready? This is a book in terms of how well you write, how good is your quality of your writing? Is it ready for the public's eye? Because for traditional publishers, they don't like bad writing, they want good writing. So it helps to get like awards and things like that, be in contests to see how well you go up against other writers, see how you fare with other writers, because that will show that you are compare, you can compete with others. And if you launch something that's sure, this could hurt your credibility. So you want to hold on to your writing until it's really good. See if you can improve it. See if you can get other people to read it and tell you how to make it better. And read other people's writing. It helps a lot to read good writing, to learn what they do and learn how they write and what techniques they use, and see if you can incorporate that into your own writing, not copying, but just taking reference of what really good writing is, whether it's Stephen King or some other famous person that writes in the style that you want to write or writes things that you want to write. And then you just take on some of their techniques and then you could use them in your own writing to get better. So also join beta groups, beta reader groups, critique groups, professional editing, and see if your writing is good enough. Like, get people to read it and compare your manuscript to books that are well written in your genre. And just be honest with yourself if your writing is ready to be published and out in the open for people. And it's not that you're not good enough, it's just that you're not ready yet to get seen, because you don't want to hurt your credibility if it's not really good. And if people enjoy what you write, then go on and publish it. If people have been telling you it's good, make sure other people in other circles say the same thing. And people are not just like telling you something just to make you feel good, but telling you the truth. And get truthful people to tell you whether what you wrote is good enough, like whether it really lands or not. So number 5, do I have a marketing plan? Do you have a marketing plan? This is number 5 because marketing is key. It's like a duty for writers to market themselves, to market their books, to market their message, their story over and over and over again. It's getting more people to know what they're writing about, what they're talking about, what's their brand, what's their personality, and being visible. Branding and marketing is visibility. And so when you write it, you can't just write it and let it go. You have to write it and promote it, publish it and promote it, and always promote, 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 and have platforms that you're promoting it from, because readers come when you promote. And marketing is visibility, it's positioning, it's what sets you apart from others in the world of books. So what you want to do is plan who your target market is and go where they are. Be where they hang out, whether it's social media, online forums, online communities, in-person communities. If you're writing a spiritual book, you could talk about your book at church, and you could talk about your book in a networking group that you might be a part of, any sort of clubs you're a part of. You could talk about your book there if it's aligned, if it's a part of what they're talking about. And don't just blab about a book if it doesn't really align with the group. And basically, I like books that really help lift up the group, empower the group, share empowering information, enlightening the group is the best way to go. So think about where your book will be a support and a help to a group. So launch your tactics of what your ad's going to be, your tour is going to be, where you're going to go to share your book. Plan for ongoing marketing every year. Like for me, I used to do Christmas because I had a book of poetry. People like to read Christmas, at Christmas time, they like to read a little poetry. So I would have a book of poetry people would buy at Christmas time. So that was something I would do seasonally. So you could do seasonal promotions. Every holiday is a promotion or reason to promote. As you see, every store has a new promotion, whether it's Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving. There's always a reason to promote a book, especially during different holidays, 4th of July, whatever the case may be. There's always a reason to market, and just make up a reason to market your book for whatever the holiday of the moment is, and just stay current. So next, we're going to talk about, do you have the resources to support the book? This is question number 6. Do you have the resources such as time, money, and team to support self-publishing the book? Because self-publishing is putting faith in yourself, but now you want to invest in the cover design and the editing and the printing, distribution costs. This costs a little bit of money. So you want to budget, put money aside just for your book. If you're going to have a book and you want to pay for a nice cover design, pay for the cover design, a good editor, pay for the editor, have the money set aside early when you're working on your self-published book. Because in self-publishing, you do all the work, all the little pieces. You're the planner of the whole project, from editing, design, all those things, and you pay who you're going to pay for each piece of that puzzle. And then it all comes together to this beautiful book that you could print on demand and distribute wherever you want. And also paying for tools. Like, I love tools where you could pay for it once and you can use it over and over. One of my favorite tools is called Designer, where you can make ebooks and you can have them formatted in it with like a Word document, could be formatted into an ebook or a flip book for super like one-time fee, and you can do it for any book that you create after that. So that's what I love about that tool. And then there are other tools for like formatting your books. You pay for it once and you use it over and over whenever you make a book. So tools like that, you could spend money once and then use it again and again. So map out your money, map out your commitment to quality and getting experts to help you. Question number 7. This is the last question. And this is also important because it's like, are you ready? Are you committed? Are you ready and committed to this project? Because you are basically the project manager, the lead, the chief CEO of this project, and you're writing it, designing it, and doing the production of putting it all out there. So are you comfortable with decision making? Are you comfortable with the behind the scenes? You could do a lot of research online to learn all the behind the scenes of how to put things together, what needs to be done. There's so many different resources on different websites on how to do self-published books that make the logistics a bit easier. And then also you could research on budgeting and promotion, marketing, all those things that come into play, or you could just work with a company that does it all for you. So these are great questions to ask yourself, just to know what it is you would like to accomplish with your book and before you self-publish it. And so I hope that was helpful. And it just in regards to your timeline, in regards to what's next for you and what you want to accomplish. So let's go on to publishing platforms. Again, I want to talk about publishing platforms. So the publishing platforms you can publish on for self-publishing is Ingram Sparks, Kindle Direct Publishing, Draft to Digital, Lulu Press, or Book Baby. These are like the best places you could do self-publishing a book. If you have a manuscript that you want to put out in the world, they will help you to get it out into the world. You will get a really nice professional looking book through these companies. The one I used was Kindle Direct Publishing. I've always used that one. I do plan to use Draft to Digital, and I want to try the other ones as well. But Draft to Digital, Draft to Digital is for like digital books, and then Book Baby you could do print books. So each one has its pros and its cons, its positives and its negatives, and each one can help you make a book that you want to give away to friends and family and also promote on either your website or a landing page that you want to promote your own thing. You could do your own book and promote it yourself from your own, website if you like. And these are all great ways to promote yourself as a writer, promote yourself in the district of writing. So that's all for now. I'm going to end it here. And thanks for joining me.